How's it going out there, YouTube? My name is Jesse, and I am the curator for the Golden Age, and this is another...
Lost Heroes of the Golden Age.
Yes, this is Lost Heroes of the Golden Age, and this time we are doing...
This is not a hero.
What?
Said he is not a hero.
Well, he's more of an anti-hero than a hero.
What is an anti-hero?
That is a definition that could be a video all on its own. In the long and short of it, an anti-hero is a hero, but he doesn't play by heroes' rules, like the best ideas of an anti-hero, RoboCop, Wolverine, Deadpool. Those are kind of like the best way to describe an anti-hero. Now, Black Adam did start off as a villain and was largely a villain for the longest time, but he started gaining some more popularity in the 52 storyline, where, well, that's a lot to get into. 52 is where he really started gaining some of his popularity, and the idea of Black Adam kind of changed a little bit to be more of the anti-hero. Now, when he first appeared in Fawcett Comics, I don't know if they intended for him to be a reoccurring character, because it was just, I think he was supposed to be just a one and done. It's an interesting story, which is why we're reviewing him today. We are actually covering his first issue in Fawcett Comics. I'm not going to go on to who he is in DC. Not only have I not read everything he's done in DC, there's a lot of history there. So we're just going to review who he was in Fawcett Comics.
You're doing this because of the Black Adam movie.
Yes, the movie coming out did kind of prompt this. It was a really good movie. I can't wait to see it again. This is kind of prompted by the movie coming out, and this is actually something I've been wanting to cover for some time. I had a lot of trouble finding the material to be able to do a proper review of the first issue, but I did, and we have it. So let's go ahead and cover Black Adam on this.
Lost hero, but not really lost hero of the Golden Age.
Really? Lost Heroes of the Golden Age. Black Adam, 10th Adam, first appeared in Marvel Family Comics #1 in 1945. He is created by Otto Binder and C.C. Beck. We will start here with the cover. Marvel Family Comics, a Fawcett magazine. And this will be the only appearance of Black Adam in the Golden Age. And I know it doesn't seem like it would be. With as far-ranging as he is in the DC Comics, he only had one appearance in Fawcett Comics. Now here we see the entire Marvel family standing before the wizard Shazam. Captain Marvel Jr., Mary Marvel, who are the only true Marvels, and Uncle Marvel. And if you've seen any of my videos covering Fawcett Comics, I do cover Uncle Marvel. He is not a true Marvel. He is a fraud. You can see one of those videos to get a little more explanation about him. The Marvel family joins forces versus Black Adam. And we see them flying towards him. Captain Marvel Jr., Mary Marvel. Each of these names alone make a great story, but now all these Marvels combined in the greatest adventure of all, as mighty Marvel family wages grim battle against the most frightful menace of the ages, Black Adam. Somewhere far beyond the realms of mankind, there stands the Rock of Eternity. An old Shazam. Shazam is writing history into the wall. He's carving it, like what you would have seen in the Flintstones. Which this is a very impractical way of keeping records. Now, there is a lot of texts here, and if you want to pause it, you can read them all. He's basically just telling the whole story. I'll go a little bit. I'll read a little bit of it. I, Shazam, created them to fight evil on Earth, but also it must be recorded that before I created Black Adam, much to my sorrow, I called him Mighty Adam. First, but when he turned evil, I renamed him Black Adam. For his crimes, I banished Black Adam to the farthest star, and yet it was not far enough, for he was to return and challenge the might of the Marvel family. The story of this battle opened in an office of Sterling Morris, owner of the radio station Wiz. Yes, I did read the whole thing. Okay. Now, Billy is told that he needs to get to the observatory where they find a strange interstellar object. They can't identify it with the smaller telescope, so they go to the larger telescope, which suddenly... I mean, he says, "Oh, I shouldn't have tried to use it." Isn't that what it's created for, so you can use it? And what purpose does a giant telescope serve that it's going to break when you try to use it? Anyways, Billy yells Shazam and keeps the giant telescope from crushing the scientist. Astronomer? I think he'd be an astronomer. Okay, anyways. A lot of the story is just quick recaps of the Marvel family if you weren't reading it up to that point. Right here, the wizard is typing more. You can pause this and read this. He basically goes over how he got Billy to come before him so he can give him the power of Shazam. Now, we show that he changes into his form, and this great rock crushes the wizard, and he appears in ghost form. Now, I do have a little bit issue with his powers. The powers of the 6 gods, he says, Solomon, Hercules, Atlas, Zeus, Achilles, and Mercury, making up Shazam. He says, "Hearken, Captain Marvel, you are endowed with all the power and wisdom of the 6 Greek gods. Great gods. You will fight evil on earth. That is your mission." Now, I never pointed this out in the other videos I did of Captain Marvel, but I noticed something when I was reading the names. First of all, there's 3 different pantheons here. Solomon is Christianity, Hercules, Atlas, Zeus, and Achilles are Greek, and Mercury is Roman. Solomon is not a god. Solomon is a wise man. Hercules and Achilles were demigods. Hercules would later become a god. Atlas was not a god. Atlas was a titan. Zeus and Mercury I have no issue with. Those 2 were gods. But, yeah. 2 demigods, a very wise man, and a titan, along with 2 gods making up his strength. I know I'm nitpicking, but he calls them gods, and not all of these in his name are gods. Anyways, we continue with the story, and we start going over the creation of Freddie Freeman. Billy goes to see Freddie, who can turn into Captain Marvel Jr. And everybody is staring at the object in the sky. This car almost hits Billy, which, yeah, Captain Marvel needs to be saved by Captain Marvel Jr. Anyways, we start going over the creation of Captain Marvel Jr., whereas Captain Marvel has to say Shazam, Freddie Freeman has to say Captain Marvel for him to become Captain Marvel Jr. We go over how Billy saved Freddie Freeman and gave him the powers. There's more carvings into the wall. Now, there are a lot of carvings in this. Most of the story is recapping the creation of the Marvel family. It's a quick recap. I've actually covered Captain Marvel Jr., and Mary Marvel in other Fawcett videos that I have done. So if you want to watch those videos to get a better backstory and more explanations of them, you can watch those videos because they are all part of Fawcett publications. Now to get back to the story. Flashing down from space at the speed of light comes the sinister being known as Black Adam. At last, I've reached years after flying for 5,000 years from the furthest star, where I was banished by old Shazam. Yes, he flew back to Earth for 5,000 years. I don't even want to get into the implications of that. I mean, I can go with the fact that maybe these guys are so powerful that they don't need to eat and they don't need to sleep, but this means that he flew straight for 5,000 years. It's amazing that he even knew which direction to fly in. The world is certainly different from the one when last I knew it, but I will conquer and rule it. Yeah, it's been 5,000 years. Now, this police officer confronts him for being in the middle of the street. He hits the officer shoots at him, and then he breaks his back. Does this scene look familiar? Yes, it's the same way that Bane broke Batman's back. So, I don't think the officer is dead, but he's definitely not in any condition to be a police officer anymore. The cry is heard by nearby Captain Marvel Jr. Captain Marvel Jr. uses his amazing strength, and nothing happens. But now it is Captain Marvel Jr.'s turn to be amazed, for his blow had no effect. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. It says that Black Adam was amazed by them being a flying boy. Silly boy, you can't hurt Black Adam, but watch what I can do to you now. And he throws a punch, which has no effect. This is the story where they have exactly equal powers, so therefore their powers mean nothing to each other because they are on par with each other. Billy Bastion observes the fight. As they are throwing punches at one another, nothing happens. What? Another one. Let me take a whack at him, Captain Marvel Jr. The world's mightiest mortal delivers the world's mightiest blow. If he survives this punch, he's really good. Holy moly, he did survive. Bah, I'm your equal. You can't whip me. And he's talking about at the same time how he can't whip them because they are equal. So he decides to get lost in the crowd, which somehow this guy wearing a black suit with a lightning bolt gets lost in the crowd of people. That doesn't make any sense. Anyways, they've lost sight of him and they decide to turn back into their regular forms. There is a super criminal with equal powers to you on the loose. Why would you change back? Anyways, they go to talk to the wizard Shazam by lighting these. They can light this torch, which is incense. You know, that smells good when you burn it. And doing that means that they can talk to the wizard. And the wizard goes over his story. He carves into the rock here. It was then I told Billy Bastion and Freddie Freeman about Black Adam. Back in Egypt 5,000 years ago, I decided to pass my powers to a worthy man. Yes, O great one, Tent Adam, the world needs a powerful champion to combat the evil which infests it. He talked about how he picked Tent Adam. Now, as soon as he gives him the power, he speaks Shazam. As soon as he gets the power, he decides that he wants to rule. So he confronts the Pharaoh, breaks his neck, and assumes power of his own. And now I am ruler of Egypt, all its dominions. I will send armies to sweep out and conquer all of the worlds. Shazam appears before him. You have turned evil, mighty Adam. I change your name to Black Adam, and Black Adam, you must be punished. Sorry if I'm stumbling over this, I've only read it once. How can you punish me? Nothing can harm or destroy me. So he casts him away. I am being hurled through space to the furthest star, but I will return someday. If it takes all eternity, I will return for revenge. I can accept the fact that he saw which direction that he was going, and that's how he knew how to return. But the Earth rotates around the sun. In 5,000 years, the Earth wouldn't be there anymore. He's still in the same galaxy. I mean, 5,000 light years away is not outside of the Milky Way galaxy. So Black Adam was gone from Earth. I decided that the universe. I decided it. I really don't believe it. I decided it was unwise to bestow my powers to any mortal. But 5,000 years later, a new idea came to me. Why not bestow my powers to a boy who would be pure and unsullied by the world? That is when I created Captain Marvel, Billy. Okay, after the wizard finishes his explanation and disappears, because he's a ghost, Black Adam appears quickly because, the speed of light. He quickly gags both boys and ties them up. Now, while this is going on, Mary Marvel and Uncle Marvel start looking for Billy after she receives a call from Wiz Station trying to figure out where Billy is, because he missed his last broadcast. They go down to the newspaper area where Freddie Freeman sells the papers, and they don't see him there. They show up to the Rock of Eternity. This is just a hunch, but let's go to old Shazam. He always said to see him in case of deep trouble. That's right, Uncle, let's hurry. Now, they appear at the Rock of Eternity as soon as they see Black Adam tying up the boys. He says he's going to kill them in this form because it's the only way to beat them. She uses the word Shazam, and she changes into Mary Marvel, and then you can see Uncle Marvel taking off his clothes really quickly. There is another block of text, writings here, where we go over the creation of Mary Marvel, and then right here, I granted Mary Marvel the Shazam powers like her brother. As for Uncle Marvel, well, now there's something I can't quite explain myself. He's not a true Marvel at all. He is a fraud, which I actually covered Uncle Marvel too. I did actually do, I covered him, and I covered his niece, Freckles Marvel, who is also not a true Captain Marvel. He thinks we never see him do that. He shouts and then he sheds his clothes. He thinks we never see him do that, but he's such a lovable old fraud that we have accepted him into the Marvel family. Your brother and your friend are in trouble. Why are you bothering to say he's such a lovable old fraud? Anyways, Uncle Marvel attempts to go after Black Adam first. I guess forgetting that he's not a Marvel. He gets punched by Black Adam and somehow survives the punch. We do know how powerful this guy is, right? Anyways, he says, I've softened him up, Mary. Now you can finish him off. The uncle has to have some sort of powers, and he survived the punch. Now, Mary starts to attack him, and again, it has no effect. Uncle Marvel removes the gags. They say their magic words. They turn into the Marvels, and they're all taking on Black Adam while he's staying there. Keep it up all day if you like. I don't feel a thing. So he lights the torch and talks to the wizard. Get him to speak his name. Stop, kids. He's so strong. Let's make him a member of the Marvel family. After all, he's got his powers from old Mahams. Hashims. Shishura. I mean, you sputtering old fool. You mean Shazam. Oh, I didn't mean to say that word. I was tricked. I take it back. Oh, too late. And as soon as he turns back into a mere mortal, Shazam punches him hard enough to knock him unconscious. Probably broke a few bones in his face, which didn't actually matter because he starts to dissolve and turn into an old skeleton. Look, he's turned into a withering old man. Yes, my children, you see, he is over 5,000 years old. The moment he changed back to his mortal form of 10th Adam, he aged. He will only be a skeleton in a moment. Black Adam is destroyed. Is that how the way it works? While you're Captain Marvel, you are ageless, but as soon as you turn back, you revert to the age that you would be chronologically in the time that you were a Marvel? I mean, that's what they're suggesting here. I mean, they say that he, in his mortal form, reverts to the age that he would be. So I guess the only way you can be immortal is to stay a Marvel. My deepest thanks. You have destroyed my most terrible mistake. I am glad I have left my powers in the hands of the great and good Marvel family. Farewell. And thus was Black Adam destroyed by the mighty Marvel family. But that is only one of their many great deeds. There are many more chapters of the Marvel family story to record on the Rock of Eternity, for their fight against all evil is waged timelessly and unceasingly. And that is the only appearance that Black Adam had in the Golden Age. I hope you liked this video. I hope that I hope it doesn't look like it. I was just capitalizing on the fact that the movie came out. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. I have a Halloween special coming out next video, so make sure that you're here and stay tuned for that. And until next time, I'll be seeing you.